Simple pleasures. Is there anything more satisfying than a basic cheese pizza? That's what I'm blazing up today on this episode of Pizza Time. I'm just going back to the classics, a simple cheese, a 3-cheese pizza, blazing it up in the Ooni Koda 16. We'll go for kind of like a thin and crispy bake today. So my first job after I graduated college was slanging cheese. Some sort of cheesemonger type. So I got to try all the cheeses. It was a ton of fun. And I kind of just, opened my mind to more possibilities of the cheese you can put on a pizza. I feel like sometimes people will tell you, oh, certain cheeses don't belong on a pizza. But, I like to have fun with my pizza. And I like my pizza to taste really good, most importantly. So I like to experiment with different cheeses. What cheeses do I look for this type of pizza today? A little 3 cheese. I'm looking for something that melts really well. That's what I got going on in here with the shreds today. I have some Havarti. It's a really nice melting cheese. It's rich, creamy. It plays really well on a pizza. Tossed in there too is some OG pizza cheese, the Parmigiano Reggiano. I like using that too with some of these moisture cheeses when you shred it up. You don't want to be grabbing from that swag bag. You want to shred that stuff yourself. And sometimes the problem is it'll start sticking to each other, clumping up. Shred some parm in there. It kind of does the thing of whatever that funk, it's usually some cornstarch or something they put in that swag bag. But this parm will work to keep that cheese separated, and it's delicious on the pizza. And to keep it classic, because we like to experiment, but we keep it OG too. I have some fresh mozz. I just cubed it up. I feel like that's a nice way to prepare it for a pizza like this. All going along with the world's best tomato sauce, my simple tomato sauce recipe up on the blog. I'm going to get the natty dough all stretched out. We'll build this thing together, watch it bake in the Ooni Koda 16. It's pizza time. Got my natty dough all stretched out. My dough recipe's up on santabarbarabaker.com. I'm always playing around with the recipe. This time it's no change in that. I did for a little bit lower starter. It was around 8% and a longer fermentation. I ended up going up for about 10 hours at room temp. And then this has actually been in the fridge. But getting all sauced up with the world's best tomato sauce. That's just my tomatoes rolled up. Always treating it really simply. Getting the best tomatoes. I like for a pizza like this, just going with a nice little slick. Never going too much sauce on a pizza like this. I don't want a soupy pie. I just want just a nice, barely slick coverage. Going up almost all the way to the rim there, but not going all the way totally on it. All right, let's get it on the road here. All right, the oregano. This is another one of those classic kind of neighborhood slice joint pizza shop vibe pizzas. So I'm gonna hit this with the wild oregano. Always use the best on this stuff too. You can shake from that mysterious container in your kitchen, or sometimes you can find that stuff. It looks more like a bush. You can shake from the tree. Headies for sure. Cheese blend. Had that Havarti, like I said. Always change up the cheeses a little bit. Play around. Just because you've never heard you haven't heard of it being on a pizza before, doesn't mean it's delicious. So give it a try. Variety, my friends. I'm gonna get it we're not gonna go super big on the cheese today. I got that fresh mozz too. I'm just going for a nice little coating here, all the way up kind of the edge here, filling in any little blank spots. But we'll hit those too with the fresh mozz. I'm gonna go up along here. I like this, just a simple 3 cheese blend. It really doesn't get more basic than this. Anytime I'm making a pizza like this though, I feel like you have a little pizza party at your house. People always into the super fancies. But when that just basic cheese pizza comes out, that's the one that goes the fastest. It's always crazy. It's just something about it, the simple pleasures, like I say. All right, we're loading up pretty good. I just went with all the mozz. What are you going to do? Maybe it's a little too much cheese, but I think it's going to be bomb. I'm just going to give it a little drizzle of the olive oil, get this thing onto the peel, load it up in the uni. We're going to watch it bake. It's thin and crispy. It's pizza time. Getting our 3 cheese pizza loaded up onto the peel. If you're having some little trouble getting on, you can shimmy it just if you could see what I was doing there. And this is your one last chance. Get that pizza nice and round. You can't see I gooped it there, got my finger in the sauce. That's a total rookie move. Try not to do that. All right, let's get this always moving fast. It's gonna stick to this metal peel if you lag. Oh, one more little thing. All right, let's get in there. All right, shooting for the Santa Barbara baker, standard bake. That's like a 3 to 4 minute bake. I got the oven all the way turned down now, but we'll go into that ultra low zone to finish it off. Shooting for that thin and crispy vibes. Get this thing going. Okay, are we timing here? Yeah, we are. 15 seconds in. First turn. You know, it really depends on the temp of the oven, the temp of that deck. I'm loading about 850 is what I shoot for. But I'm most importantly looking at the pizza. I already see some bubbles popping up, some leoparding going on back there. About 30 seconds in, I'm thinking about that first turn, but just making sure I don't get in too early. That's when you're gonna rip that pie. All right, going in for that first turn. Go for another probably 20 seconds or so, seeing that leoparding start to pop up on this side. Rotate it one more time, then we're gonna go clockwise up to that max point and then into that ultra low lux zone. Crisp up this pizza, let it finish baking. Going for that little bit more like thin and crispy vibes on this one. Just making sure I'm not forgetting to keep my eye on this pizza. I'm seeing some nice leoparding going on back there. Thinking about going in for another turn. We're a little bit over a minute in now. Bake is going so far, so good. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice looking pie so far. Now just making sure I don't goob it and blow it as it finishes. That's the thing. You can sometimes see, oh man, going a little too long. But I'm keeping my eye on it now. I'm thinking I'm going to go. Let's see, is that leoparding popping up? I'm thinking so. It's looking pretty good. Going real quick into the ultra low. Moving as fast as possible so it doesn't scorch. All right, can we go even lower? There we are. Finish this thing up. Minute 43 in. Taking a look here. Another turn. At this point, we're just finishing it up, making sure the pizza gets nice and brown. That bottom sets. I'm checking that bottom, seeing for that brownie, and just making sure, because you know it's way hot in the back of the oven, cooler up front. So you got to keep rotating that pizza. You're baking inside on the baking steel. You don't have to trip as much on that. You know, it's like baking in a classic deck oven in a pizza shop. Those guys aren't turning the pizzas all the time. This is a more active kind of technique when you're baking in one of these. It's like, you know, kind of trying to make like a wood-fired oven vibe. But this one's dope because it's got the propane, making it so we enjoy our pizza lifestyle. And by that, I mean we eat pizza here every single day. So bomb, we live the pizza lifestyle. Let me keep my eye on this thing. We're almost 3 minutes in. Let's see here. Is this thing done? That's looking a little light back there in the back. Just rotating it, letting it finishing up here, making sure that doesn't brown or blacken into a total crisp. You want to watch it though, because that back left corner gets so hot when you're doing these turns. You can accidentally set it down on a spot of the oven that you haven't hit the pizza yet. That's when you're going to get it burning. All right, we're a little over 3 minutes in here. Look at that nice slick of grease, but I mean, that's that real dank grease. I got a little bit of that olive oil on there and that cheese just rendering out some of its fat. It's bomb. About 3:30 and look at that bottom. It's crisping up really nice. I'm thinking this thing's almost done here. Like I said, we're going to that thin and crispy vibes. That's about a 3 to 4 minute bake with my style. Loading it with the oven really hot, but actually turn it down just before you go in. You always preheat super hot. You know, going for those first few turns on the normal low, finishing it off on the ultra low lux zone, the extended baking zone. Look at that pizza. It's looking so bomb. Almost 4 minutes here. I'm thinking this thing's gotta be done, right? Check that bottom again. Oh yeah, maybe a little bit dark there. No, it's fine. Let's get the show on the road. Get this thing out of the oven. All right, let's take a look. Boom. The 3 cheese headies for sure. This pizza smells so bomb. That's why it's going right onto the rack, so we don't steam the bottom, lose all that crunchy, hopefully, you know, something a little crispy going on there. But if you just put it right on the plate, sometimes you'll lose that. So I let it hang out here, you know, 20 seconds, a minute. We're gonna cut this thing into 4, try and go for a fatter slice. Meet you at the table. We'll give this thing a taste. It's 3 cheese pizzas. It's the simple pleasures. It's pizza time. The simple pleasures today are feeling super fire most. I feel like the bake went overall really well today. I mean, it was uneventful. That's what we always like. No weird stuff going on. The oven was nice and hot. I mean, maybe a little bit more like browning here. That could be some issues with the fermentation or something. But overall, this looks like a bomb, simple cheese pizza. Throwing it back to the classics, the 3 cheese. But you know, we like a little variety, so I change up the cheese in that cheese blend. You don't always have to use like whatever anybody says is like the most classic piece of cheese. There's so many good cheeses out there in the world. Expand your mind, check them out. Look for those really good melting cheeses. You know, some little hard, like, I mean, throwing on some of those other aged cheeses instead of the parm. That's like what I'm talking about. And really change up your pizzas. It just is a fun, thin and crispy 3-cheeser. Let's go in for a slice. Looking pretty good, you know, maybe could have been a little thinner there at the center, but thin and crispy vibes. That's what we were going for, and if I can pick up a slice like this, I'm pumped. The bottom looks pretty good. You know, some spotting going on there, the little leoparding on the bottom and the top. Mix the leoparding here. Looks baked through. Looking pretty good for that thin and crispy vibes. Let's give this thing a taste. A simple cheese pizza. What is there not to love? Man, with that Havarti in the mix there, it just throws a little bit of funk, something different. It is so bomb. Browning up nicely, that's another thing. If you have issues, I feel like sometimes, depending on what brand of mozzarella, if you're doing the aged, like the low moisture mozzarella, it browns really quickly. A trick with that, you can blend in some other cheeses, maybe so you have a little bit more variety on the look. That's what I like too. Tastes really good. Some of the cheeses are brown, some are milky and creamy. That's bomb, that's coming from that fresh mozz. Check out the recipe. It's up on santabarbarabaker.com. Follow me on Instagram. I'm doing all sorts of fun stuff on there. As always, I'm Santa Barbara Baker on Instagram. All the recipes are on the blog at santabarbarabaker.com. Tell your friends. Share this video. Tell me what you think down in the comments. What's your favorite type of cheese on a pizza? Do you play around with those cheeses, or do you just keep it super OG, you know, keeping it OG Classico? I guess we're just full-on OG today. I'm just so fired up. This is a bomb pizza. This is like my favorite style, just those easy, simple cheese pizzas. Love you all. Hope you're dreaming about pizza out there, making lots of pizza. Share with your friends. Share that pizza love. Love you all. One love.